Now, Ms. Bearder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to congratulate and thank Mark on his report and the passion and leadership he's shown so far on this topic. It's a very good report with specific recommendations of actions under each target, which I can endorse. I'm also happy the report clearly argues that the full and prompt implementation of the nature directives is essential if we are to meet our 2020 biodiversity targets. The conclusion of the mid-term review by the Commission and the hearings we've heard on this topic last month are very clear. We are failing to meet most of the targets, and unless we act now, we will simply miss them. And failing them is not just a pity, it's a threat to our sustainability, our food security and our economic well-being. So let's be under no illusions. We've missed the biodiversity targets we set ourselves. That's we, this Parliament, the Commission and the Member States. We set ourselves in 2010. And right now we're running into the same path to miss the targets in 2020. In my opinion, we're missing leadership and vision from the Commission and lack of commitment from Member States to implement the targets correctly. As to the report, I think it's a very good starting point, and I think the ENVI Committee will be able to build on Mark's recommendations and suggest more concrete actions that the Commission and the Member States should take. We know it is essential that there is more coherence across different policy areas. We know that our infrastructure and agricultural policies need to be revised and better integrate concerns about biodiversity, and we know we need more enforcement and funding at Member State level. And on that point, Member States need to step up monitoring, enforcement and compliance efforts, as well as implementing dissuasive and effective penalties. Member States need to invest in their biodiversity because it makes economic sense. But there is a lack of political willingness to act. So I think we shouldn't hold our punches here, and I think we need to be naming and shaming. The Commission is waiting for guidance from this Parliament, and I think our message will be clear. We need the Commission to act and the Council to act now and decisively. So I'd like to take this opportunity to ask the Commission how it will work internally with the Council to ensure that this topic gets raised at the highest political level. We saw a couple of weeks ago what happened with the vehicle emissions. We know that they've been failing. So what happened? They lower the standards. We can't afford that to happen with biodiversity. And I stand with the rapporteur too on his stance on the Birds and Habitats Directives. We cannot open those up because we know what will happen. They'll get weakened as well. On Target 5 on invasive alien species, I think the Commission have really struggled with this because the world is out there and to get a list that is sensible. I cannot understand why we don't go back to thinking about what we can allow in, not what we can't allow in, and have a white list. And that way we will have a sensible list, not a stab in the dark. I also would like to see more work on ships' ballast because I think that is a huge threat to our seas around the Union here. So we need more action from the Commission and from the Council in the Member States. And of course finance is a huge factor, and how we make this a defining one is really important. In its explanatory statement by Mark, he stated nature was making a cry for help. I look forward to working with him and the other shadows to ensure that that voice is heard loud and clear in every single Member State. Thank you.